Yes, hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon sa inyong lahat. Welcome to my Facebook Live in my Facebook page, Trading Risk Management. This is Ronnie Cayosa. We have a new time slot today, 1 p.m. Sakto yan sa ating closing, no? Ating market. Okay, so yan, sakto, 1 p.m. close na siya. Okay, update tayo. Normally naman kasi update after the market, diba? Kaya yun, binago ko lang yung aking time para at least makita na natin kung ano yung nangyari for the whole day. Unlike sa umpisa na masyadong maaga or 9 or 10, nagsisimula pa lang, hindi natin makita yung galaw ng market. But anyway, yan. Punta na tayo sa ating screen. Yes, ang ating COL, Confidential platform that we are using for trading or investment. So right now it's time check 1 p.m. no 1:54. So market close at 1 p.m. no run off time niya mga 1:30 12:30. Ano 12:10 no, kanina nung na-open ko run off na niya no, pre-open and then run off. So normally yun yung kanyang schedule every day. As of the moment kasi nga we are in pandemic time. So, kung mababalik na yung schedule niya ng regular, 3 p.m. talaga yung closing niya. So, medyo may time pa no to trade or para makahabol yung iba para sa araw ng trading. So, 2 days na lang no para matapos tong June trading for the month of June 2021. So, yun. Then after nun, July na. And then August, ilang buwan na naman. Ilang buwan na lang. December na naman, malapit na mag-2022. Ganun kabilis ang panahon, no? And ang kagandaan lang naman, nasusundan natin siya. Aside from the update, no, nakikita natin kung ano yung nangyayari sa market. And importante ito, no, daily, kailangan na kahit hindi ka nagpa-participate sa market, nakikita mo yung potential na nangyayari para kung may mga magandang updates or mga sentiments ng kung saan papunta yung market o kaya mga news, diba? Catalyst na pwede natin pagbasihan para makapag-join tayo sa market. But right now, okay, update na natin yung ating stock for today, June 28, okay, 1 p.m. The market's closed right now and tignan natin yung mga active. Okay, for today, SMPH, BDO, Ali, ICT, SM, AC, ASEN, Tech, MEG, and Globe Telecom. So that's our top 10 active stocks for today. And gainers, gainers naman, OB, RCB, WIN, Euro, AT, Alco, Prim, FB, and GMA7. So that's our top gainers for today. And top losers, Ever, SLI, FPA, PHES, MBC, LODE, PRMX, AB, MHB, and CHI. So, papansin nyo, hindi pa masyadong participate yung ibang mga nasa mga blue chip stocks natin o nasa PSEI index market natin. Kaya, nakita mga top, mga second and third liner companies ang mga nagpa-participate or mga nag-gain and mga nag-lose for today. Alright, so tingnan rin natin yung ating latest research. Latest research as of June 28, right? So, check natin ang ating daily notes. Tech spot, daily notes, and mining sector. Pabalik na tayo, sige. Naiwan natin yung tech spotlight. So, we have a tech spotlight for today, June 28. So, this is an update. Updated. So, basahin na natin. So, PSEI rallies as rotational actions persist. So, the Philippine index at 6951 rose to 64 points Friday and proceeded with its recovery towards recent high. Some cascade in price still expected as the recovery of its first pullback is met with strong momentum. Such rallies with an MACD cross down can usually make it prone to such choppiness. But weekly studies show that we are still in the midst of recovery swing. And this means we try to take advantage such pullback and offset up overbought situation by looking to buyback situation within the 20 to 50-day EMA. This will continue to throw the rotation swing, seeing some temporary correction and some renewed rallies. And this may provide traders to take in selective opportunities. Try to keep focus on the stocks that are over the 20 and 50 days EMA. But more importantly, those also over the 100 and 200 days EMAs, as these have already wriggled back over into uptrend bias. And some issues are still below this major average and are taking longer to resuscitate. And maybe one day later they will have their turn, but for now, follow the fresh money and stay with the action. So you can see market sees rotation as well driving mixed action at the US market naman. This market showed the varied movements Friday rotation action also worked its way in. Now the Nasdaq pulled back while the Dow and SP 500 advanced. But all three generally remain into advancing trend, and see that slower Dow is a brief consolidation. All these average are now over their perspective average, and as long as we stay there, should minimize downside trend. Okay, so check other market right now. So in the Philippine market, we are over 64.5%. Okay, and 0.94 gain tayo last Friday. Actually, this is a Friday market, no? And yun nga sabi nga, yung PLD, Dow Jones and SP 500, no, they're all up, and Nasdaq is down by 0.06%. Okay. So normally yung mga sinusundan din natin, no, yung price ng international market, especially US market. Kung ano yung punta ng US market, mapapansin natin din yung punta ng stock market natin. Pero hindi parate, no? Minsan kahit bumaba na yung stock market nila, basta't nakakapag-hold naman tayo, so hindi rin naman nakakasunod sa pagbaba ng market nila. Sana yung pag-akyat lang lagi. Okay, or kaya yung pag-pullback. Market sees rotation swings. The PSA saw mixed move for the last few days but still managed to score decent gain for the week with at 1.45% swing. Some overbought issues moved to correct and could eye retrenchment toward the 20 or 50 EMAs. For strong stocks would like to be the first EMA, no, ASEN, LHC, and Converge will be example of such active issues that needs to blow off some steam. For those looking for buybacks, proximal areas to this next support may be more ideal. A look into the earlier corrective session of food for retailers like GFC, Pizza, and Max show that they are erect a base or near their 20 to 50 EMAs. Then proceeded to recoup back to the test higher swing higher. So we hope other could resemble such correction and recovery days as well, given the general recovery trend we are seeing. Other movements that can be some basing swing similar to the nickel is attempting. After showing a consolidation base between 5.0 and 5.10, nickel 5.10 and 5.05, nickel is trying to reward in some demand action, perhaps in line with nickel price rallying back into June high as well. However, nickel may need to be nudged over 530 to 5.34 to gain more upward traction over its resistance and downtrend line. Only then can be opening back to 575 and possibly 6.40. Other issues to watch the SMPH and MEG, both which are rallying and trying to overcome next resistance. SMPH need to break over 38.10 while MEG has two areas to scale over 3.31 and then 3.40. SMPH though seems like a better bet, having only one resistance to band to break. So these are the technical chart. No, ASEN, Olechi, Converge, JFC, Pizza, and Max. Kaninang diniscuss, ito rin yung kinalabasan niya. So, kung marunong kayo tumingin ng technical analysis ng mga company, we can analyze kung saan papunta yung kanilang price action. Mamaya, magtitingnan natin din yan sa gamit natin na INVESTAGRAM. Okay, so market review is market mix. Dow and SP 500 climb while Nasdaq poses, and the US market mostly continued with the advance with SP 500 managing to push further into new heights. The Dow actually led the advance and now moves to test high and band of recent consolidation. If they encounter some resistance zone Here, we do hope that SP 500 and Nasdaq can still encourage it to break off its range, but these two may also have to face the range high estimate as channel projection, though shadow are also nearing range high. This put such indices under resistance which this week, or perhaps given that we are ending the first half, which could stoke in some window dressing. So this SP 500 and Nasdaq. And MCI Philippines project to rebound. EPHI 31.42. Actually, it's international market. No? Kaya hindi masyado natin bibigyan ng papasahin. No? Tingnan lang natin more on our market. Okay. Hindi tayo masyadong tumatagal sa pag-update. So let's see naman yung daily notes. Daily note. Right. So still is a update, no? As of July 28. So mining sector potential resurgence of the Philippine mining sector. That's our top story. And other news: TEL secures 22,000 permits amid network expansion. Okay. And our COVID-19 update. Actually, nagkaroon naman tayo no? Nag-update tayo last Friday na itong COVID. So let's go to the top story. Mining sector potential resurgence of the Philippine mining sector after being overlooked of several as seen in Exhibit 1, investors became interested in the mining sector beginning to second quarter 2020. There are two main reasons of this renewed interest in the sector. First main catalyst is the spectacular increase in commodity price due to the loosening of monetary policy initiated by the U.S. Federal Reserve and other central banks globally to counter the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on world economy. Second main reason for the renewed interest in the mining sector is the potential shift in the government stance toward the mining sector. For this report, we'll focus on the three metals which are the main output of listed mining companies, the PSE, nickel, gold, and copper. So, medyo naka-focus ngayon ang ano natin sa mining kasi yan nagkaroon na ng di ba ng government nabigyan ng dito ng permit no to operate na yung mga mining sector natin. So, tingnan natin no kasi last 5 years ago no bago umupo na si President Duterte binana nila yung mining eh. So, parang nakahinga na yung mining. Yung natural resources natin dahil bumuka ng di ba? Mga minerals like for example gold, silver, and copper. Alright. So, ito, sa mining pa rin to. Nickel, gold, and copper price bowed by loose monetary policy post-pandemic recovery. So, nickel during the onset of pandemic in March 2020, LME nickel price reached a low of $5 per pound after rallying in 25% in 2020. The price of nickel is holding at 8.25 per pound in the London Metal Exchange after rising to the high as 8.80 per pound in February. This was primarily due to the opening of the major global economies as lockdown measures were relaxed. Furthermore, despite the impact of COVID-19 on Indonesia, economy's government maintained the nickel ore export ban, which was put in place encouragement investment in the downstream nickel processing external the country. Being one of the major nickel exports in the world, this developed helped support the price of LME and nickel ore price. Note that the average contract price for the nickel are exported is currently 37 per WMT, 9% higher average of fiscal year of 2020 prices. And gold, during the onset of pandemic, March 2020, gold price reached a low of $1,400 per ounce. However, gold price recovered a climb of 27% to $1,900 per ounce as of the end of 2020. Currently, its price holding at around 1.8 per ounce after falling to 1.7 per ounce in March 2021. The short-term consolidations may be attributed to the growing concern regarding an imminent rise in the interest rate as U.S. economic recovery pick up steam steam and inflation risk decrease. Despite this, World Gold Council outlook on gold remain positive for the rest of the year, with the C gold price remain near 1,900 per ounce now in the short term, medium term. And in copper, mineral copper price have continued its upward trajectory since 2020, end of 2020, and the copper price surged by 28% in 2020. It is currently up to 21% year to date at 4.3 per pound. Demand for copper has been increasingly primary due to effort of major countries to transition toward renewable energy, with copper as necessary metal to fuel a renewable energy system. However, copper faces supply side constantly, with inventory dropping rapidly in the elevated demand as a result, and copper price may likely be pushed to even higher. So copper din ata ginagamit for mga batteries. And so ito yung pinaka main na component, no. So ayan yung kagandahan ng mga um, mineral na to or mga mining na company sa ngayon, kasi open up na lahat yung no, after ng pandemic or after ng lockdown, yung mga company na mag-proceed sa kanilang business. And as of gold and silver, no, hindi man pa rin, no? Kaya lang bumaba yung price nila. So, ako for me, dati nang tinitingnan ko yung gold no. Although maganda naman mag-invest sa gold, kaya lang hindi ka na makakabili ngayon ng physical gold. Unlike kung bibili ka ng gold sa market, no, or tinatawag natin trading, you can buy gold but hindi mo siya mahahawakan, no, not physical gold talaga, no. You can buy yung price ng gold, no, during that time, parang stocks, di ba? Yung shares hawak mo, or kaya gold, alam to tawag nila sa gold, hindi naman certificate yung gold. Or anyway, meron ka lang parang shares din sa gold. No, hindi shares ang tawag doon kasi you don't own gold. No, para bumili ka lang ng price ng gold during that time. And then you can trade that price. No, once na umakyat siya o bumaba siya, before kasi volatile din yung price ng gold. No, that was 2019. Nung nakita ko na akyat and then biglang baba. So marami din natalo sa gold. Kaya kung yung iba ang ginagawa nila, if they're buying gold, talagang tinitrade lang nila for ilang days, or minsan iba scalping lang ginagawa, cents lang or dollars lang, malaking kinikita. Kaya kung compare mo yan sa if you're buying cryptocurrency, like for example, kasi ang gold, ang Bitcoin compare nila sa gold, which is kasi lumalaki ang price niya because of scarcity. Ibig sabihin, paunti-unti nakakapaghanap ng gold o nakapag-mine ng gold. The same thing with the cryptocurrency or Bitcoin na lang, sabihin natin na in-compare naman siya. Na konti na lang ang nakakapag-mine ng Bitcoin kasi mahirap na rin siyang i-mine. Aside from that, marami na rin mga country like for example sa China na binabana nila yung mining. Why? Kasi sa pag-aaral na rin na malakas gumamit ng electricity or ng, siyempre, ang ginagamit ng electricity, di ba? Coal. So yung coal, ano ba yung coal? O yung mga gumagamit ng para mag-burn ng electricity. Siyempre, sabi nila yung sa ozone layer, di ba? Yung natin, yung ating basta yung sa ozone layer natin. Ayun ang inaano nila no? Kaya binan nila yung pagmamine ng gold. And then yan, lumilipat na iba sa ibang country na ang gamit is more on natural resources, or kaya yung mga solar. Yan. So yung mga ginagamit nila ngayon. Alright, so last, domestic policy shift in mining could improve mining sector outlook. The Department of Finance announced in October of this year the government plans to revive the mining industry in the country to create more rural jobs to mitigate the impact of pandemic to raise government tax revenue from the mining industry. In April of this year, the government announced that the country has lifted its moratorium on development of new mines through Executive Order number 130, and the new EO effectively overwrote EO number 2079 in 2012, which imposed a moratorium of new mine development in the country. The government added that With EO 130, it may now enter into new mineral agreement subject to compliance with the Philippine Mining Act of 1995 and applicable law, rules, and regulation. We believe that the lifting of the moratorium on new mines will significantly benefit the country's mining industry as it will allow mining companies to expand its operation as well extended the life of mines companies which minerals reserve as near depletion. And in Nickel Asia, maintaining production level despite favorable price. For 2021, the company is targeting maintaining its product target of 18 million of nickel ore in this year. At par at this product's level, 2020 while first quarter 2021 production of 2.82 million account for only 16.8 full year forecast mainly due to seasonality factor. Management believe that nickel will be able to ramp up production in the second and third quarter and bring total products this year close to 2020 level to 18 million. A renewed focus on mining industry with lifting of moratorium on new mines for nickel management. EO 130 is welcome to development signal the government's readiness to focus the development of country's mining industry. This could jumpstart the development of many shale mining products. While EO 130 will not have a direct impact of nickel's pipeline of projects, as this project already have mineral production, sharing agreement, and MPSA obtaining the remaining required permit for this mine could ask the government to renewed commitment to jumpstart the mining industry. These projects include the Dinapiken Nickel Ore Project in Isabela, the Pulanjao project in the Manikani project in Eastern Samar. And this project have the combined mineral resource estimate of 270 million WMT, equivalent to 14 years of nickel's aluminum shipment volume. The Pulanjao mine production is expected to replace nickel's Rio Tuba mine products, the remaining mine life only 3 years. While the Dinapiken and Manikani mines could potentially boost nickel annual shipment volume for more than 20%. Okay. So ito yung sa Nickel Asia. It's ano to? Tingnan natin yung price ng Nickel Asia. NIKL. So yung mga umawak ng NIKL. NIKL. So that's the price of Nickel Asia. So right now, average of 5.40 yung kanyang price. So nagko-consolidate lang yung price niya. No? Hindi siya umakyat or bumababa, just the same pa lang, no? Sideways. But anyway, dahil siguro sa mangyaring pinalabas executive order na 130 na yung mga company, no, in the mining sector is talaga mag-ooperate na ng full potential nila. Alam niyo ba na around 5 years ago, 2015, 16 until 17, no? Ayun ang mga magandang i-market o trade. Yun natin ang price nila during that time. So mababa na 8 pesos siya, no? This was 2013, 14, 15. Ayan. So bumaba na siya ng 2016. Nag 1 peso pa pala siya ng 2016. And then umabot siya ng 2016. Bumalik sa price ng 4 pesos. Anyway, umabot siya ng mga price na ng 9 pesos. So meaning during this time, maganda yung market ng mining, sa mining sector. Ang hirap lang nito, yun nga, biglang bumaba rin yung presyo nila. Kaya careful pa rin, sa pag-trade or pag-invest sa mga mining company. Okay, kaya chinek natin, di ba? Tingnan natin ng sample. Kung dito nakabili yung iba at that price and then bigla siyang bumaba, hindi ka pa rin makaka-recover. And this is 2015 and right now 2021. So 6 years na, ipit pa rin yung pera mo. Okay, kaya make sure, na ingat kayo sa pag-invest. Kasi kung 2013 ka naman, nag-invest, definitely you will get a high profit if you can take the profit during this time, 2014 until 2015. Anyway, and yung ating mga news about mining sector. Sa Nickel Asia, may Philex Mining or PX So PX extended mine life, Padcal mine to take advantage of the higher price. During the annual general stockholders meeting on June 25, PX President CEO Yule Alstin Jr. announced that the Padcal mine will be extended its mine life for another 2 years until 2024. The company conducted technical financial studies by drilling the surroundings of the main ore body to support another mine life extension. Management noted that two barriers mine life extension resulted in around 15 to 20 degradation of ore quality unless extending the life of Padcal mine still makes sense economically given the strong outlook of gold and copper prices. So let's see the PX. Yan, para at least may idea lang kayo na pakita ko rin sa inyo ano ibang mga mining sector. So right now PX is trading at 6.50. Pero during that time no, umabot pa siya ng 20 pesos or 28 pesos. And this was ano to? 2011. Okay, and then 2012 until 2012. And then goes down na until 2016. During the time na binana yung mining. So, kaya sinabi ko careful, di ba? Hindi mo alam kung paano kung paakyat o pataas pa yung price niya. But right now, is trading at 6.50 SPX. Alright? So, another news naman. TEL secures 22,000 permits needs network expansion. TEL or PLDT and its wireless arm smart communication incorporation noted that it's be secured over 20,000 fixed and wireless permit since the government signed the Bayanihan 2 into law, which helped fast-track the permit processing for telco projects. The telco internet speed continues to be strengthened by their ongoing fiber rollout and tower builds. Yun lang. So, yun lang yung update sa TEL or PLDT. So, shoutout natin si John Martin Luciano, Francis Rofa, Nicolas Jes, Richmond Ong, Cheng, Eden Alexander Chu, Yu, and Kerry Malcolm Chan ng COL for the research. So, yun lang ating update for today. No? Sa ating the daily notes. Okay. So, yun nga rin. No? Tignan din natin no? Yung para at least makita nyo yung kanyang fundamentals. Sabi ko sa inyo, you check the technical and the fundamental para at least alam nyo. No? So, the nickel muna natin, NIKL. No? If it is good to invest in that company. Pero syempre, tingnan mo na yung mga directors and management. Check the directors and management. Okay, kung di mo kilala, yan mo lang, makikilala mo rin sila kung ikaw matagal na nag-invest dyan o malaki yung invest mo. Okay? Kasi pwede kang mag-join sa mga meetings, no? Annual meeting. Okay, pag nagbibigay sila ng mga normally every year yan may naman annual meeting ng mga company yan. Check the dividends and rights. Okay, so meron silang binibigay na 0.14 and 0.09 this year, March 2022. Okay, so it's good. That's good. No? Kahit pa paano, kung meron kang invest na dito sa nickel, you'll get the dividends, no? In quarterly or yearly dividends nila. So, yung kanina pa, tinignan natin PX. Not Pilex Mining. Okay. Ratis naman tayo, diba? Alright, so sino owner and management? Look for the owner and management. Oh, Manuel B. Pangilinan. So, yan, medyo matatag yan. no? And then check the dividends and rights that they're giving. Right now, 0.059. 0.059 last March 09. So, yung kanyang dividends na binigay. So, as you can see, yung price naman nila, di ba? Hindi naman ganun kalakihan din. But, siyempre, tinitingnan pa rin natin yung potential, no? Income during the price appreciation niya. Hindi lang yung dividends. Kasi pagka ikaw ay nag-invest, you will look for potential profit niya. Yung kanyang dividends na binibigay every quarterly or yearly, and then yung price appreciation ng company. Okay, kasi kung mag-invest ka rin lang naman at wala ka namang nakukuhang dividends for ilang years no, na in-invest, sayang lang, no? Sayang lang i-invest mo. Sayang yung time. And then pag hindi pa gumagalaw, pababa lang ng pababa yung price, di lalo din sayang kasi syempre hindi ka kumikita sa dividends, hindi ka pa kumikita sa price appreciation niya. That you, and every time na gusto mong ibenta o nagkaroon ka ng chance, di ba? Lalo kung meron kang mga kailangan na maliquid yung pera mo, eh dapat yung meron kang profit pagka nagbenta ka. Alright, so that is our daily notes for today. And last but not the least, yan natin yung mining sector. Okay. Kasi talagang binubos nila yung mining sector ngayon. Normally kaya ganyan dahil mining sector naman talaga help our economy to, diba, to recover. Kasi lalo ngayon, ano ba mga kailangan lalo na sa mga ginagawang yung cellphone o naman yung mga kailangan, di ba, ng mga materials doon coming from mga mining o mga minerals, like for example yung gold, di ba, silver or copper. Lahat yan actually kailangan yan, no? And ang Pilipinas is maraming natural resources tayo eh. Kaya lang minsan na napupunta nga lang sa ibang bansa, mga mga foreigner. Kasi wala nga tayong ganong ka-technology na we can make products parang ibenta na sa ibang bansa. Parang end products tayo. Ang nangyayari, hindi tayo end products eh. Ano tayo, nagiging talagang kuhanan lang ng mga end products, di ba? Ito yung sample nung nakaraan, nung pag nagpapagawa ng mga cellphone na lang tayo kasi yun naman ang malakas na yun talaga eh. So may mga component yung cellphone or mga materials coming from tulad natin sa Pilipinas, no? So dinadala yan doon sa mga production. Kinukuha nila rito and then dinadala sa production, like for example sa China, which is doon naman binibuild. And then after ng China or sa Taiwan, normally, di ba? Kasi may mga kailangan silang bago sila makapag-build ng kanilang sample doon sa loob ng ng component ng cellphone, sabihin natin, o ano man yung dito, mga gamit na yan. Gadget, yan. So, kahit anong gadget yan, kailangan niya ng mga gold or silver or copper doon sa loob niyan, diba? So, saan kinukuha yan? So, yun ang tanong. So, marami tayong ganyan, natural resources. Kaya kung tayo dapat nakakapag-produce ng ganyan, sana tayo rin yung gumagawa. Parang nagiging subcon tayo. No? Para at least malaki yung potential na kitain, not only mga Philippines, but also yung mga kababayan natin. Kasi nangyayari, dito lang hinuhukay, dito lang kinukuha, and then dideliver na sa kanila. So sana kung dito hinuhukay, dito rin gagawin. Tapos end products na da-deliver sa kanila. Okay. So may mga ganun may mga ganung case, di ba? So pati yung labor nung paggawa dito mangyayari. So hindi na alis yung mga Pilipino, mga OFW natin. Kasi iba talaga nagpapakasakali sa ibang bansa dahil nga doon ginagawa. Like for example, Taiwan. So maraming doon production doon maraming company doon na doon binibuild yung mga part ng chip o part ng cellphone, and then tsaka naman nila tinatransfer doon sa mismong like for example China, to binibuild na everything. Then transfer naman sa ibang company para i-sell, benta na, di ba? So for example sa US o kaya sa Europe, ang matindi na ito, binabalik sa atin, buo na. So ganong dito kumuha ng mga kailangan nila, tapos pagbalik sa atin, end products, no? Tayo maging end user, mahal na, di ba? So dapat meron tayong ganong mga technology. Actually, meron nga tayong before na lumalaban dati yan or nakikipagsabayan sa mga big technology na yan o big company na yan. Kaya lang parang nawala eh. Yung my phone, I don't know kung naalala nyo pa dati na talagang puspusan din yung pag-promote. Parang ngayon wala na eh. My phone. I don't know kung nabili na yung my phone dito sa Pilipinas. No? And parang na-meet ko pa yung may-ari nun during that time na nagkaroon ng meeting. No? Kasi ginawa nilang yung business model, ginawa nilang parang network marketing na. No? Hindi na sila nag-ads. No? And that was during anong year mo? 2018? 2018, no? Parang nakita nila siguro na, I don't know kung bakit nila ginawan, but siguro yung competition masyadong hindi na nila kaya yung mga ads, no? Advertisement, sundo na napupunta siguro yung kinikita nila. And they changed the business model to network marketing. And hindi naman nag-click. Kasi nga hindi rin nakakuha ng mga good leader. No? Anyway, hindi ako nakapag-join doon. Bumili lang ako ng phone. Supposedly dapat gagawin din namin business, kaya lang parang hindi maganda yung business model, tapos yung products na ang i-offer mo is cellphone, no? Parang one time big time lang siya kasi hindi ka naman parating bibili ng cellphone, di ba? Parang hindi siya consumable. Kasi once you build a business, pag sa network marketing, dapat consumable yung products mo. Meaning, every month, no? Every month at bibili ka or magdadagdag ka or may add-on ka. So, walang ganun dun sa nangyari sa company na yan. I don't know, wala na akong balita sa my phone for today. Kasi nagkaroon pa ata kami ng nakagamit ba tayo ng my phone before, mami? My phone na phone? Nakabili pa tayo no? Oo. Hindi, aside from that, nung mga dati pa, kasi mura siya eh. Nakagamit pa kami dati, hindi pa siya touch tone yung nabili natin. Touch phone. Hindi pa touch phone. Kumbaga dati, yung gamit namin dati yung, ano ba yun? Yung, ano tawag ka nun? Hindi touch phone. Ha? Basic phone lang, yung dinudot-dot mo lang. So, yun pa dati yung mga kanilang phone. Kasi mura, kasi normally, wala pang 1,000 pwede kang makabili. Pero nung dumating na yung touch phone na, yun na, parang hindi sila nakasabay doon. Anyway, yun lang. Na sana kung nakasabay tayo doon, andito yung mga basic component o mga materials na pwedeng nila mabili, mas mamumura pa saka makakapag-advertise price. Alam mo, merong video na panood niya regarding doon sa Vivo and isa pang kalaban ng Vivo? Oppo. Vivo and Oppo pala, isa lang ang may-ari. Grabe. Chinese din siya pero low profile. And siya yung unang, ang dating business actually ng Oppo, hindi agad-agad cellphone yan eh. Ayun yung mga appliances na yung may disc, ano ba yung pinapanooran? Mga karaoke, mga ganon. BTT pa nga dati yung pangalan niyan eh. Nakabibili pa ako, naalala ko BTT na yan. Mura din yung mga na yun, yung appliances na yan. Ano ba tawag doon sa ganang appliances na lagyan ng disc? CD, yan. Okay, so VCD, tama, VCD, tapos nagkaroon ng karaoke, di ba? So, yun yung business ng ng Oppo and Vivo. No, yung Vivo, Nagkakaroon sila ng kompetensya pero isa lang may-ari. And right now, ganun din ang kanilang tactic, no? Sa Pilipinas, ganun ginawa nila. Ang Vivo, ano ba kulay Vivo? Blue and Oppo is green. Ayun ang makikita mo sa kanila, yung color, parang ginawa ng may-ari, color code na pag green, ito yung phone, ito naman yung Oppo, and then sa Vivo naman is blue. So, ayun yung kanilang flagship, no? Katuwa kasi ang kinukuha nilang mga model, talagang mga sikat na tao, 'di ba? Basketball player o kaya mga sikat na artista. Pero isa lang kumpanya, katuwa. Na-dominate nila yung cellphone market. Alam niyo, mas mataas pa pala ang sale nila kaysa Samsung and Apple. Why? Kasi normally, sino ba bumibili ng mga cellphone na mababang price? 'Di ba? Mga BCD, 'di ba? Ang A, tawag dito yung mga category A na tao. Ang binibili niyan ay mga high-end. Apple, siyempre, wala ka na masabi. Apple lang naman ang talagang high-end. Ha? Apple lang may phone, di ba? iPhone, no? iPhone lang talagang sabi nating ang price talaga yung matindi ang price. Ang next to Apple is Samsung, di ba? And then after niyan, yung marami ng iba-iba na maliliit na company or cellphone na naghahati-hati lang. Pero ngayon, ang naglalabanan, no, in terms of high market value is Oppo and Vivo. Dito sa Pilipinas, ayun napansin ko, yun pala sa ibang bansa, ganun din nangyayari. No, talagang pinapalakas nila yung dalawang company yan. No? Pinaglalaban nila, pero silang may-ari. And then, ang kalaban nila is mas malalaking company. Anyway, ganun kagandahan yung strategy ng ginawa nila. Alright, so done at rito sa ating daily notes, no? And then, ito pa, meron pa ba tayo? Ito na yun, yung kanina sinabi ko. Hindi ko pa pala na-discuss, no? So, dahil ko sinabi, no? Philippine potential sources of Philippine mining sector after being overlooked several years. Since Exhibit 1, investors become interested in the mining sector beginning second part of 2020. There are two main reasons for this renewed interest in the sector. The first main cut is the spectacular increase in commodity price due to loosening monetary policy set by the U.S. Federal Reserve and other central bank globally to counter the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the world economy. The second main reason the renewed interest in the mining sector is the potential shift in the government's stance toward the mining sector. Yan yung kanina sinabi natin. Stance ng government, yung EO 130, no, na they giving yung ban, nilift na yung ban para mag-mine sa Philippine sa atin. So halos ito rin kanina diniscuss natin, di ba? Anyway, so halos pareho lang sila. Nauna lang diniscuss natin yung daily notes. Alright. So, as of today, PSE is negative 0.18% down or 12.55%. Okay. Overall, market 0.36%. Medyo matami-dami pa rin yung that is around 95 out of 275, we have 95 ang ating mga gain sa ating market, and it is top 3 is OVR, CBN, I is Ironmeat, I think. It's Ironmeat na. Oh yeah. Ironmeat is up by excuse me po. Live. Alright. Last time ng Ironmeat, biglang akat ang price niya, no? Minsan ganun. Ironmeat is remittance sa company to. Kaya ko alam kasi yung presidente na ito. Ay, pangalan ng presidente. Naging kaibigan ko yung presidente pero nakalimutan ko yung pangalan. RCBC to no? Dating RCBC president, and then after nun, kinuha siya ng IREMIT as a president and CEO. Tingnan nga natin yung ano na ito para makita natin. Kung siya pa rin yung kanyang fundamental. So, IREMIT is, sana siya pa rin. Director na lang. So, Harry Sasildo. Yan. Nalala ko pa rin siya. Also, siya pa rin ang president actually, position, no? Harry Sasildo is coming from RCBC. Nalala ko pa eh. So, siya yung president yan. Pero yung CEO, si Ben C. Chu. Alright. So, let's check kung merong binibigay. So, IREMIT is not giving dividends and right. Yeah. Alright, so that's IREMIT. Alright, so check natin yung IREMIT lang, no? Kasi pero makita mo, maliit lang naman yung mga change nila. OV is Phil-Oldrill Corporation. So, late lang ng price net. It's a 4 digits company, no? Cents. And then RCBC, South Commercial, banking sector. Now we'll check for the financial sector naman. Out of 9, we have 6, no? And by RCB, SECB, and CHIB. RCB, Rizal Commercial, SECB, Security Bank, and CHIB, China Bank. All right. Industrial sector, we have out of 28, 13, 13, URC, EMP, and ASEN, the top 3. And we have holding out of 15, 7. SM, ALC, all home, and SMC. That's our top 3 in our holding. Now look at the property. 13, MEG. Out of 13, we have 5. MEG, VLL, and ALCO. So MEG is talagang umakit na yung price ng MEG. Nakakabawi-bawi na. No, because of diba, ano siya sa listing, no, sa PSE na mali sa IPO ng REIT. Kanyang mga updates sa kanila. Also BLL. BLL ba? Vistaland, no? And also FLI. So far maraming papasok sa REIT natin yan. Ng mga developer and mga owner, no, ng mga construction. Okay, so that's property. Services, out of 15, we have 9. Bloom, Milcon, and Gemis 7. And mining in oil, out of 9, we have 6. Nickel, PX, and FNI. Yung kanina discuss natin. Alright, so that's our update for today. Mga stocks natin na you have to look up. Lalo sa recovery na natin this year. And also next year, normally mga 2 to 3 years recovery yan. Ganun nangyayari, no? Yung kanyang pag-akyat at pagbaba sa market. And kaya yung dapat pag-aralan. No? Lalo na yung kanyang basic na technical and fundamental analysis. Alright, so yes. Na tayo sa ating review sa ating ANC with Miss Mimi. No? TransUnion PH newly launched a credit risk to identify 4% more good customers cut bad rates in half. That's our title for today. So let's move on with Mimi's interview to
Now, while the
TransUnion.
Philippine Central Bank injected over 2 trillion of fresh money into the system since last year, banks have been hesitant to lend out. Could that be because of falling credit scores? Well, let's find out from our first guest this morning, TransUnion Philippines, Pia Arellano. Of course, TransUnion is one of 3 major credit bureaus listed in the U.S. Hi, Pia. Great to see you. Pia? There you go. Hi, Pia.
Sorry about that. Good morning,
No worries.
Mimi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us this morning. So let's start with the banking sector's non-performing loans ratio. NPLs charged up again in April to 4.35%. That is a 12-year high versus 2.31 April of last year. While delinquency or past-due ratios also climbed to 5.4% from 3.81 year on year. The Philippine Central Bank is expecting NPLs to peak by the end of this year, even piercing through 6% before tapering next year. Is that aligned to your outlook, or are you seeing something else?
We are actually aligned, Bibi, with the view of the central bank, and we do see NPLs peaking a little further in the second half of the year, possibly reaching 6 to 7% even. So approximately in our bureau, we see that approximately 18% of customers in a bank's portfolio will degrade in terms of credit score month over month. Right? So this is really quite concerning, signaling the inability of customers to pay for their obligations, right, given the pandemic. So this is despite, BSP's dovish monetary policy, as you said, cutting 200 policy rates by 200 basis points, right, last year. This hasn't really helped nudge banks to lend a bit more. They remain to be quite reticent. And again, really not surprising, as delinquency rates brought about by the pandemic have triggered them to tighten credit policy and as such, maintain a more conservative stance and approach. At TransUnion, however, we do believe that, the key to economic recovery is really adopting a growth mindset, right? So banks, despite this reticence, have to shift to a more growth a growth mindset in general. And again, the weapon of choice has to be information. So we have to address economic paralysis with the power of data analysis. The good news is at TransUnion, we actually have a newly launched credit vision risk score, which allows banks and lenders to identify 4% more good customers while cutting bad rates in half, right? So with the power of trended data, 24 months data, and looking beyond just delinquency and looking at other credit attributes, like payment patterns, spend shifts, and utilization rates. This wider and deeper analysis gives banks more confidence because of the greater accuracy that this analysis can provide. As such, leading them to lend more.
Okay, so let's talk more about this score that we talk about. I mean, how does the average Filipino consumer's credit score look like today? Is there an average? Because I understand you're using the Vantage Score 3.0 model, wherein you rate a person, the borrower, between 300 and 850. 850 being a perfect score, 300 being a low score. It's a 3-digit score. Basically, for those who are not too familiar, it determines, or it describes, the kind of borrower an individual is. And the higher your score, the bigger your chance of qualifying for a loan and securing very good interest rates. So how does the average Filipino's credit score look like today? Is there an average? Do you guys do an averaging?
Yes, we do. Actually, pre-pandemic, the average score of your Filipino would be about medium risk, right? So that would be DD to GG, or about 750 in terms of if you were to put a numeric score to it. Surprisingly, during these times of the pandemic, most of the Filipinos have maintained that medium risk score. However, we do see the nuances in terms of percentage of Filipinos belonging to the higher risk segment. So in 2019, you had about 17% of Filipinos belonging to the high risk grade. This peaked in 2020 with 20%, 23% Filipinos, actually even higher, belonging to the higher risk grade. Again, the good news is we are seeing this stabilizing in 2021. And if our banks really just adopt a more prudent, yet proactive growth approach, this can taper off even further this year.
Actually, ang pinag-usapan nila about credit scores, no, ng mga individual actually to, no. So TransUnion is parang sila yung nag-check, no, ng how individual can assess, no, will assess in their credit score para makapagkuha ng loan or credit. Siyempre. So basing on American standard, kasi nga siyempre lalo na sa panahon niyan, di ba? Maraming nagdi-default, maraming hindi na nakapagbayad because of pandemic, di ba? And some of them talagang naapektuhan, not only mga employee or kaya mga may-ari ng company, even individual mga businesses, no. So they come up with ayun nga 4%, no, good customer para dun sa mga makakapag utang o makakapag-loan. Kasi nga sa panahon ngayon, siyempre hindi lahat, no, is capable magbayad kung saan nakapag-loan. Totoo naman kasi nga sa mga pangyayari nga talaga nagbayad. Anyway, so that's how they see yung paano makakat, no, at half yung mga delinquent payer. And especially sa mga dati namang good payer pero nga naging delinquent sila dahil nga sa nangyari, no, sa situation yan. Anyway, so let's move on, no.
So what goes into the credit score? I'm very curious because I understand around 27 million Filipinos have scores with you guys. This 27 million represent the 30% banked Filipinos?
Yes, you can say that it would definitely be representative of the bank population within the Philippines. And really, there are a couple of factors that go into the calculation of a credit score. So factors like the most important being credit payment history, right? Do you pay your bills on time? Do you pay for your bills in full? Right. Another factor would be credit utilization. So for credit cards, you would have a credit limit. Are you maxing out your credit limit? Another factor would be length of credit history. How long have you had your credit for, and are you being responsible with it? And lastly, also types of credit. Do you have a variety of credit loans? So do you have a credit card and an auto loan? Again, this is a factor which is also very important because it shows banks and lenders how responsible you are in terms of managing your credit.
Mm-hmm. Is your database, I understand that TransUnion is
Alright. Tanggalan natin yung ads niya para tuloy-tuloy. Alright, we have a question right here. No? Can you check stocks like Analysia? Yes, I've been doing that. No, actually, you can use the basic analyze. No, pag-analyze ng stock like fundamental and technical analysis. Nikolai Romanov. And depende yan sa stocks yung analyze mo. Siyempre, may iba-iba yan Iba-iba yung mga stocks na sector na gusto mong kunin. For example, kung anong sector, sabihin natin na banking sector, kung doon ka naka-focus, so you'll check siyempre kung ano yung magandang company nandun doon. And then you can check the fundamental and technical ng company na yan. And I analyze yan siyempre para at least malaman ko kung saan papunta yung kanyang price, no? Lalo na sa technical analysis niyan, meron tinatawag tayong price action. No? May mga indicators na ginagamitan para ma-analyze mo. In fundamental naman, normally, ang ginagamit naman din dyan is yung, ayan, katulad yan, yung PSE Edge. Kasi dito, giving information, research, and kung ano yung mga bago, no, update sa mga company, lalo lang yung mga yung mga nagmo-move, di ba? Kasi sinabi ko kanina ito. Yan, latest research na yan, importante yan, no, na mabasa and ma-analyze kung tama ba. Kasi hindi naman ibig sabihin sinabi nila kung na-research nila na ganun, okay na sa'yo eh. No? Kaya doon papasok yung pag-research. Okay, so yun lang, Nikolai Romanov. Thank you for asking. So balik tayo, let's move on. No? Kasi ito mga importante ding updates to, no? Kung paano gumagalaw yung ating economy. Kasi hindi naman gagalaw yung economy natin, lalo na yung ang mga banking sector natin kung mga walang nangungutang dyan. Diba? So that's the problem na yung iba takot mangutang dahil baka hindi makapagbayad, yung iba naman hindi na-aprobahan sa utang nila kasi may mga existing na utang pa, di ba? Not only individual but also a company na malalaki rin. Yun importante sa atin para mag-move yung economy natin, di ba? Kasi marami tayong malaki stocks natin na cash last year kasi nga hindi gumagalaw yung business, di ba? So yun ang nagiging problem ngayon dahil nga bihira lang or konti lang ng utang at naaaprubahan. Kaya ito mga ganitong mga news, importante rin to.
America, but it was incorporated in 2011 here in the Philippines by some of our big banks. BDO,
That's right.
Bank, HSBC.
Citibank and HSBC, yeah.
So is it safe to say that these are the very banks that also tap into the information that you guys have?
Yes, they are. However, again, we started in 2011 with our 5 shareholder banks, the 5 biggest banks in the country. But fast forward to 2021, we now have grown to more than 100 members. And apart from our 5 shareholder banks, it's really the entire, I would say, majority of the financial players in the industry really tapping into our database and contributing data as well.
I read that part, that you can't just tap into the database of TransUnion. You have to contribute information as well.
Yes. You have to give to
get a full picture.
Okay. You have to give data in order to get data. Yeah.
And how are you connected to the CIC? This is the government-backed Credit Information Corporation. Are your databases exchanging information?
We are an accredited special accessing entity of the CIC and very supportive of the CIC. In the future, the big goal is to really consolidate our database and really tap on, the wealth of data that the CIC can provide and ultimately produce, a one merged credit report.
So the 30 million, when do you see, I guess the bigger challenge is creating a credit history for those who are not banked.
That's right.
At the heart of your advocacy is to embrace more of the unbanked Filipinos. So how do you plan to do that? Do you have targets?
Yes, Mimi, before the pandemic hit, we were actually facilitating, lenders extend credit to previously non-credited individuals. And we would, I think that the last running statistic was about 87,000 new to credit loans that we would grant every single month, right? So we do this with the power of our new to credit score, which is actually based on a lookalike model, given the millions of data that we've amassed. So basically, what it does is it creates a profile for uncredited individuals based on data, based on by simulating payment patterns and behavior of similar individuals based on demographics. Right, so it's a lookalike model based on sophisticated algorithms. So ultimately, this new to credit score aims to empower lenders to say yes to more Filipinos, to drive financial inclusion, and really underscores our commitment to serve as a catalyst for nation building.
But the 87,000 new to credit individuals that you granted every month was pre-pandemic. How has the pandemic affected that drive? And at this rate, when do you see, the balance shifting? Because right now we're 70% unbanked, 30% banked. When do you see that number finally, shifting?
Right. Slowly but surely, Bini, is, I guess, the best answer. And really, ultimately, our banks really just have to trust in the power that data can bring, right? Surprisingly, because of the pandemic, a lot of previously reticent banks who were, afraid to tread the waters of new to credit are now wanting to tread, this space given the power of data. So again, this is all in the spirit of nation building.
For consumers out there who may be wondering, can I get a copy? Can I check my credit score? Will I know my 3-digit score?
Absolutely, absolutely. So consumers can really just go to our website, transunion.ph,
Okay.
or actually send us an email at inquiryph@transunion.com. So again, that's inquiryph@transunion.com. Just send us an email and we can give you a copy of your credit report and walk you through, the components and also give you your score.
Oh, wow. Okay. And this is for free?
This is for free at the moment, yes. Still
Okay.
for free.
Alright. O yan. Ganda yan. No? At least medyo malalaman natin kung ano yung ating ito, credit ratio or ratings. No? So, pwede niyong gawin yan. Transunion.com and then check your trading credit ratio para malaman natin kung paano kung ano yung ating, 'di ba? 750 for Filipino. Sa US is 800 yung kanilang passing grade. From 350 to 750 actually, no. So meron pa rin naman silang mga, siguro pagka 350 ka, pwede ka pang makakuha ng mas mababang credit or loan. Pero pagka nasa 750 yun, malaki na yung loan mo, 'di ba? Normally ganoon naman no. Depende sa rating mo. Anyway, that is our ANC news or reviews coming from ANC or Mimi, yung ating host for that video. Right? So, actually, done na tayo. Last but not the least, doon sa mga interesado mag-start, mag-invest or mag-trade sa stock market. Ayun naman ang ating purpose, to guide or share may mga gusto mag-start sa ganitong negosyo or sa ating investment. Kasi iba natatakot nga kasi normally hindi alam kung anong unang gagawin, di ba? Kaya kung ikaw decided ka na to invest o mag-trade sa stock market, I guess it gives you 3 options. Number 1, learn to trade. Learn to trade or learn to trade. It will take you 1 to 3 years to learn stock market trading. Katulad kanina, tinanong, can you analyze stocks? Yes, of course. Pag natutunan mo yan, madali na naman. Simple lang actually. Hindi siya actually sabihin madali. Simple lang siya kung gagawin mo. Diba? You have to know the fundamental technical analysis that will help you to find a good company and strategies to trade or invest. If you lose on the beginning of the trading, that's your tuition fee in learning. So okay lang yan. Natural lang naman yan. Kasi nag-average naman yan. So umpisa. Diba? Kaya kailangan na alamin mo kung paano talaga invest or mag-trade sa stock market. And I suggest you need to get a mentor or coach to guide you to shorten your learning curve, and the cost of learning as your tuition fee will be minimal. Kasi yung mga losing trade mo ay magiging tuition fee mo once you start investing or trading in stock market. Or invest in a mutual fund, get insurance policy if you want. Para at least makapag-participate ka naman kung ayaw na mag-aaral. Kasi iba talaga mga natatakot na o ayaw na dahil risky nga raw yung pag-trade or sabi ng mga iba, gambling, diba? Kasi hindi naman alam na kung paano gawin. So, suggest you can invest in a mutual fund kasi may mag-handle naman ng mga financial advisor, mga fund manager doon para at least hindi wala ka ng problema. Ayun nga lang, yung income mo, income potential, diba? Mas maliit, diba? It will give you, actually, maliit siya kung compare natin kung ikaw nag-trade. Pero kung sabihin natin sa compared to bank, diba? Mas malaki siya. Bakit? Bank is giving only 1%. Diba? And, every time na nag-deposit or nag-save. And sa mutual fund, medyo mataas 7 to 12% ang binibigyan nilang potential income. Not necessarily ay yung maging income mo kasi normally na-average pa rin yan eh. Baka matiyempo ang mataas yung price. Definitely, yung iyong value ng investment, baba rin. Kaya you have to learn talaga paano siya mag-invest, no? Even sa mutual fund. Or kaya get insurance policy. Kasi sa insurance naman, yun, automatic yan. Merong makukuha yung family mo na proceeds pag may nangyari sa'yo. Yan, namatay ka. If you have 1 million o 2 million na insurance, may makukuha yung family mo. Or, kung wala namang mangyari sa'yo, kung naka-invest yan, no? Lalo sa VUL, ang yung products, you will get potential income din doon sa mga products na nakuha mo. Kasi normally, nilalagay nila yan din sa mga investment like for example, stock market or equity. But hindi shares or stocks ang nakukuha mo dyan. Ang nakukuha mo dyan normally is a units, no? So, mas maliit, no, ang income. Kasi portion lang yan eh, no, na makukuha mong potential income dyan. Kaya, malaki pa rin kung compare mo pa rin sa bangko. 1,000. And then, syempre, meron kang maasahan yung family mo na may nangyari sa'yo. That's the insurance, di ba? Or kaya, you can invest in a retail stock market trader na kilala mo para at least, diba, mas mataas yung potential income doon. Depende sa pag-uusap nyo. And I suggest na kilala mo talaga siya. Kasi it will help them also to, diba, to get another buying power. At lumalaki. Parang small hedge fund kung tawagin natin. Marami naman gumagawa niyan. Kaya lang sabi ko nga, look for trusted. Kasi, yun nga, mahirap yung hindi mo kilala. Tapos nag-trust ka agad. Maraming ganun eh. Mga Pilipina, nasabihan lang na ganitong kalaki yung potential income na mabibigay sa'yo, eh, naniniwala agad. So, kaya nga I-suggest kayo na alamin yun para at least matuto kayo. Okay? Now, in this time, lot of things happen and people who started traditional business last year. Ito na about traditional business open in March and close in the same month due to lockdown and pandemic. Now, we don't know what will happen. So for me, if you want to open a business, it should be something that we can control. And for me, stock market is a business that we can control. Why? Kasi nga, pwede mo siyang, pwede ka mag-buy, pwede ka mag-sell, mag-hold, mag-take profit, mag-cut loss, or just long-term. So depende sa'yo kung anong gusto mong gawin. That's your business, di ba? And then you can also buy stocks or company shares, di ba? Different companies. So, ayun sinasabi ko, you can control if you know what you're doing. So, learn to invest wisely. Right? So, disclaimer lang, no? This information in this video is for my personal and educational purposes only. I don't recommend buy, sell, or hold stocks. It's your decision to trade or invest in stock market because it's high risk that you may lose your capital or investment. So, yun. Tapos na tayo, no? And I hope na may matutunan kayo today and yung interested mag-join o mag-participate in stock market, aralin nyo para at least hindi naman kayo malugi, no, sa pagnenegosyo. Alright? So with that, thank you very much po sa inyo lahat. And tuloy sa pag-aaral, pakikinig, panonood, no, for you to become bigger, strong, and faster you. So this is Ronnie Cayosa. See you in my next video. Bye-bye.